Hey everybody, this is HK7335 and I was browsing through the latest comments on Prop Mastery membership and I saw this one here about chest armor from Tom, and he put up a picture. Apparently he split this to print it, and as you can see it's very thin in the middle, and now he's having a lot of trouble gluing it together. He's using JB Quick, which was a smart move because this stuff is awesome, but this is the kind of joint that it has no supporting structure. So what I suggested to him in my comment was that he could print a sheet of plastic on his printer by generating a cube primitive and then scaling it down on Z to basically create a sheet of plastic that he could use to reinforce the back of that. So I decided, it might be cool if I actually just showed how to do that. So let's go ahead. Here we are in Orca Slicer. We're in a blank project. There's nothing here. We haven't imported anything. What we're going to do is we're going to just make sure that, first of all, we want this for the printer that we're going to use, which is my Neptune 4 Plus. We're not going to show the printing, but we're just going to show how to make this. So you're going to right click and control click if you're on a Mac, I guess, and go down to add primitive, and we're going to add a cube. Okay, and now you can make this cube any size that you want. This is completely a realistic piece of geometry. I mean, as real as it can be in the computer, right? But you can print this. So this is a cube that I believe is, let's see what the size is right now. It is 33 by 33 by 33 millimeters. That is its default size. Well, we want to make this cube, let's say we want to make it 3 millimeters tall. Okay, and we've got uniform scale turned on, so it made everything else 3 millimeters. So what? Whoa, hello. Let's go back to scale. Let's change these to, let's say we want this to be 50 millimeters, and we want this to be 50 millimeters. So now we have a 50 millimeter by 50 millimeter by 3 millimeter square. And you can tell it's 50 millimeters because the grid here in Orca is, these are 10 millimeter squares. So we've got 5 of them here, so that's 50 millimeters. We can even make this bigger if we want. I would go bigger because you can always, what you want to do is be able to create a sheet of plastic that you can use for any number of purposes. So we'll go ahead and triple the size. We'll go 150 and 150. And now you're good to go. The only thing you want to make sure is that it's on the bed. It should be. 3 millimeters might be too thick. Maybe you don't want a bunch of infill in here. Let's go ahead and slice it. I want to first make sure I don't have a raft on. I definitely do not want a raft under this. And I don't see any reason for any kind of, we'll do a skirt. A skirt's always a good idea. It's not super necessary, but it's a good idea. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, we do have some infill. So if we wanted to, we could change the infill to like a 100%, or we could make the piece smaller. Now here's the thing, you could make this a completely custom size. So if we look at this picture here that he posted, let's go ahead and go in here and open the picture up. If we look at this, we can see that this thing is probably, it looks like that's probably about the length of the actual tube portion of the JB weld, which is maybe 3 inches long, which works out to a certain number of millimeters, which I can't think of off the top of my head. If an inch is 52 millimeters, I think that's right. No, half inch is 12.7, so an inch is 26, 27. 3 inches would be 60 and 18, yeah, about 78 millimeters. So you could make a piece, and the width here looks like it's about half that. This is like almost a perfect rectangle. So you could make your piece be that big. So let's go back and do that. Let's go ahead and scale this so that it is what we want it to be. Here we go. So we have uniform turned off. So let's go ahead and we're going to go 78, we said, is one side, and the other side would be about half of that, which would be 36 millimeters. Now that might be a little small, but that is probably big enough to bridge the joint. And the nice thing is this stuff's going to print out quickly. If you want to, you can always just clone this. Let's clone it twice, okay? And you can make yourself a couple of different versions of this. So let's say you want to keep that width, but you want it to be one of them to be a little wider, so it covers more area across the joint, which is always a good idea. So we'll go ahead and make this width. We'll go out to, let's go to 50, okay? And so now we've got 78 by 50. And then we have this one. Maybe we just want to make this whole thing bigger. So we'll go, let's go 150. So it will keep this 2-to-1 ratio. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. But we'll make it bigger, a bigger size. So now you got 3 discs here. If we slice this, the print time on this is going to be very quick. I mean, it's saying an hour. If you print at full speed, yeah. So you get 3 pieces of plastic that you can use to bridge this seam between the 2 chest plates in an hour. And you didn't even have to make anything. You just used things that come native with this slicing program, and you can now produce what you need to finish your project. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Just a quick tip of how to do something cool in Orca. Until next time, this is HK7335, and I will see you in the next video. Oh yeah.